Hello again and welcome back to Aimee the Giraffe tutorials with Wee Woolly Wonderfuls. And at the end of the last video I left you following the pattern until the end of row 36 when we were doing 12 rounds for the neck. So the next stage is to slip stitch and fasten off. So if you're not sure what that is, we're going to show you. Slip stitch is simply, it's like half a double crochet. But the reason for doing it is that it gives a flatter edge. If we did a double crochet to finish, you would find there would be a little step like that, so it wouldn't be quite round. You sit over there. Let's have a look. Oops. So we're going to do a slip stitch, which just gives us a nice, more level edge. So we've just finished our last stitch, so now we're going to go into the next stitch. And we're just literally going to pull it through and then carry on and pull it through like that. So we're not doing the second half of the stitch, just the first. And then it says on the pattern to leave maybe 30 or 40 centimetres, just a good length. You can see that there. That is what we're going to use to sew Aimee's head on. It's much easier if we use the ends that are already attached. It saves us fastening it, makes it more secure. Just going to take that off. And now you can see Aimee's body shape, so her body and her head. It does mention on the pattern a little bit earlier about starting to stuff, so it's always easier to start doing it a little bit early on. But I've left it here so I can show you the stuffing stage. Now the stuffing that we use with the kits is called ball fibre, and it's lovely high quality, and it's little balls, so it can be a little bit, little balls everywhere, but you'll see the reason once you start using it. And I have had quite a few customers asking me what it is because they love it so much, because it's so easy to get a good shape. When you have bigger pieces of stuffing, you have to kind of pull it apart, stuff it in, otherwise you can find it gets a little bit lumpy. And there's nothing worse than a lumpy giraffe. It doesn't look very professional, it just looks very amateurish, doesn't look very nice anywhere. We like a nice, smooth, good body shape. So what I'm going to do is just start popping the stuffing in. I'm going to take quite a bit to fill the body. I do test several times how much stuffing is in the kit, and then I do add extra in. So you'll probably find if you've got some left over, don't think I haven't stuffed it enough. Just think that's just simply because I add extra to make sure there's plenty. So the body's starting to fill a little bit, but you can see it's still squishy, so we'll keep going. My bag here, it's packed quite tight, so it doesn't always look like a lot in the bag, but believe me, there's quite a lot in it. And the stuffing is quite important to get correct, because it does give a really good overall finish if you've got it correct. The body was stuffed quite firmly, but we are going to pat it like that, so we keep the base flat. We don't want it really big and round because she won't sit up. So if we pat it flat, that'll mean that she can sit, which most people like to sit these things on a shelf or somewhere, unless you're for a child, and then they'll probably just end up cuddled all the time. Right, here we go. Oh, there's lots of stuffing going in here. We'll just keep going. Oops. We'll see how it is. We'll push it right into the body, and then we'll just make sure there isn't any empty gaps. I don't want any baggy parts. We'll just kind of roll it a little bit like that, squeeze it. All you're trying to do is get a smooth shape with a flat base. So don't try and force so much in that it's rounded, and you don't want to force so much stuffing in that when you look at it you can see the stuffing through the gaps. If you're doing that, then it's far too much. Don't think I'll just keep stuffing, the more the better. It isn't. You want a nice firm shape, a little bit still squeezable, and you want it so that you can't see the stuffing through the holes. The most important thing to stuff quite firmly though is Aimee's neck, and that's simply because if you don't put much in her neck, once we put her head on, you'll find she goes all floppy and her head doesn't stand up right. So what we're going to do is check the body. That's pretty good. So it's still a bit squashy. So it's not absolutely solid, the body, but it's just quite firm but still a bit squashy. I hope you're enjoying my descriptions. It's quite hard to to explain without letting you have a feel of Aimee's body. So we're going to pack it down a little bit more into the neck. So all I'm doing with that is when I put some in, I'll push my fingers down to pack it in a little bit more, like that. So that's feeling a bit firmer because we want a nice firm base for when we put a head on. Don't worry if you seem to be using quite a lot of it, because the arms and legs only have a small amounts of stuffing in. A head will need doing reasonably firmly, but this is going to take up a good chunk of your stuffing. Right, so we've got like that, so that's pretty firm. I feel the neck's quite firm, but we'll pack a little bit more in. You can wait until you're putting the head on to put a little bit more in the top, because we want it filled right to the top. We don't want a gap in the top of a neck, because it will make a head not very solid. So we'll keep going like that and pop it in. You can finish stuffing it later if you want to, but I like to stuff as I go along. There we go. So it's all quite firm, so you can see what she looks like. Again, quite flat on the bottom, a nice shape all the way around. And our thread, we'll put that to the back when we put Aimee's head on. And we'll leave that to one side. We'll start on the next piece. So that's put to one side for now. And then the next video, we're going to show you how to make Aimee's leg. So I shall see you in a few moments when you finish doing your stuffing. Bye for now.